What do you think the priority of government should be in Canada? I would say keeping taxes low, keeping services effective, the ones that need to be there, and, well, making life easier for Canadians. Well, unfortunately, this Liberal government doesn't seem to have a really good handle on what priorities should be, and maybe we should be grateful for the fact that they've been spending tens of thousands of dollars trying to find out, except, well, clearly it hasn't been working. This comes from an order paper question that was submitted by a Conservative Member of Parliament from BC, Bob Zimmer, who asked the government in the House of Commons, all ministries, all departments, how much they've spent on polling and focus groups. Now, each ministry has to respond, and there were actually more than 100 pages that were tabled just this week in the House of Commons, with each ministry saying how much they've spent. For some of them, it was $20,000, $30,000 on polling. For others, it was testing whether the website was usable. Some departments even had little polls that were done to see how the budget was being received, how certain programs were. But one really jumped out. It was an expenditure from the Privy Council office, which operates really in lockstep in many regards with the Prime Minister's office. There's a great relationship between the two organizations. And the Privy Council office responded to this question. And let me read the question for you here. Bob Zimmer had said, with regard to government polling and research, how much money has the government spent on polling from November 4th, 2015 to June 15th, 2016? Broken down by department and agencies, companies contracted to provide polling, topic of research, and how much money the government had spent on focus groups in the same time span, and broken down by the same criteria. Now, the Privy Council office responded to this, and what they actually revealed is that they had spent in both categories, not just the focus group, but also polling. And this is where it gets really interesting. The response from the Privy Council office said that they had spent to Elemental Data Collection Incorporated $42,667.22 on studying perception of Canadians on government priorities. Perception of Canadians. So basically, what are we average Canadians thinking about what the government is actually doing? Now, as I mentioned earlier, clearly whatever they learned isn't working because the priorities haven't changed. But after spending $42,000, nearly $43,000 on this category, you'd think that the government would have a handle on it. This is the Privy Council office, the one that all other ministers and cabinets and departments have a benefit from if they do something. Well, look at the other expenditure for focus groups. $72,240, the topic of research to explore in more detail the concerns and the perceptions of Canadians on current events related to the federal government, and then another $75,000 almost for the perceptions of Canadians on the current state of events, including the state of the economy. So they commission this poll. They spend tens of thousands of dollars on figuring out what Canadians think about government priorities, and then need to spend $150,000 more to get more information about those very same things. Maybe the government should spend more time and money actually dealing with these priorities rather than just trying to figure out what they are. And, well, if they don't know, then maybe that old line we heard in one of the campaigns is true, that he's just not ready. For the Rebel.media, I'm Andrew Lawton. Hey, did you like what you see? Well, if so, and I know that you did, check out the Rebel.media for lots more great content. And you know what? If you become a premium member, you have access to shows, content, lots of stuff you will never see anywhere else, only at the Rebel.media. So sign up and stick around.